show you some fun hacks I did on the kids joggers. Now, if you've been around our channel for a while or you're part of our Facebook group, you know that I am a huge fan of this pattern, and there's so many fun things that you can do to hack it. Today, what I am showing you, this is actually a hack that can be applied to adult or child or whoever's pants, but it's a really fun ruched waistband that is sewn on top of the elastic to get that nice gathered effect there. We are adding some grommets, and then we are also going to be adding this this exposed hem, and I really like the look of the rolled cuff. I really like the look of that with French terry because you can see the loops on the fabric and it just looks really, really cute. So that is just double rolled up at the hem. The last hack I'm showing you on these today, and I'm sorry, this is a dark fabric, it's a little bit hard to see, but I did a top stitched pocket, and I'll pop a picture in here, but the top stitch pocket actually has raw edges as well. So once I wash these, those edges are gonna roll a little bit and you'll get even more of that kind of distressed look. It's something I've seen a lot on ready to wear joggers. I think it's super, super cute. So those are all hacks that I am going to be showing you today using our kids joggers pattern. That pattern is going to be linked in the description below, as well as our adult joggers pattern. And so let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're doing is altering our pattern pieces and making the additional pieces we need. I'm taking the ankle cuff, I fold that in half because that is how it's attached at the very end. Then I'm going to overlap those 1/2 inch, which accommodates for the 2 seam allowances from the bottom of the pant and the ankle cuff. And I'm going to just add that length onto the pant piece. Since we're not going to be using a cuff after all, we are instead going to be rolling up the hem. So I'm adding on that length to make sure that my pants are going to be long enough to roll up. So all I'm going to do is just draw that out and trim it off. I already did it for our back piece, so those 2 are ready to go. The next thing that we are going to be doing is calculating out our waistband. Now I measure the top, and I like to keep a notebook close by so I can write all this down. Now I'm measuring the front separately from the back initially so that I have a front waistband and a back waistband, and then I'll have my side seams on the side. Now I am taking the length that I measured and doubling it because you're going all the way across the front. Don't forget you have to double to cover both your front leg pieces and your back leg pieces. Then I'm adding 1/2 inch for a seam allowance on either side. That is 1/4 inch on one side and 1/4 inch on the other. So that gives me 12 3/4. Both my front and my back waistband are the same. I can make one pattern piece, but make sure to measure the front and the back of your joggers because if they differ, you will need 2 different pattern pieces. Now for my waistband height, I am going to use 1 inch elastic, and that's what I love about drafting your own waistbands is you can just use what you have. So I did a ×2 because the height is doubled, your waistband is folded over. 1/2 inch to cover my 2 1/4 inch seam allowances, and that is 2.5. So what I'm actually going to do is do 2.75. I'm going to add an extra 1/4 inch in there to give me a little bit of wiggle room to fit my elastic through because I don't want it really tight in there. I want my elastic to be able to thread through a little bit easier. So now we have our waistband piece, and I'm just putting cut 2 because again, both my front and my back waistband are the same size. So now I have that piece done, and we can move on to making our pocket. So what I'm doing for the pocket is I take the front pant piece and I'm just going to trace kind of the top half of it because what I want to make sure is that my pocket matches up perfectly with the front of the pants. Now as far as pocket depth goes, I'm going to go just above the crotch of the pants, so you can customize this however deep you want your pocket. And then I am going to do a vertical line for the side of the pocket. Now I kind of split the difference, maybe a little bit more than halfway for how wide my pocket is, and then I do my slant pocket. Now I made sure to add that extra 1/2 inch there to fold over and hem the pocket. I'm not going to do a band, I just want to hem mine for these ones. And then I'm cutting that pocket piece out. And I've got little wings on the side so that when you fold it over, it matches up with the edges or close to matches up. That way it's not too short to hem and you run out of fabric or have to stretch it. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to assembly. We'll start with the pocket. Now I did already hem these on my cover stitch machine, so you can see that those are folded over, hemmed and pressed, and we're going to line them up with the front of our pants. Now this part, because I want an exposed edge, I am going to just leave those edges raw and stitch on top of that. So I am using pins to go ahead and pin those all in place, and then I will stitch over the top of my pockets. All right, so those are stitched on, and then I went ahead and basted across the top there and on the side of the pocket. This is really important, especially across the top, because it'll make installing your waistband a lot easier. So next, just use the instructions to sew your front and your back leg pieces together, and we'll add our waistband. So now we have our waistband, and I did sew that together, press it, and I added a small scrap of interfacing at the center front so that when I add my grommets, there is some stability in the fabric. The fabric I'm using is super soft, and usually when you're doing knit fabrics, you always want to interface if you're adding grommets anyway. So make sure and use an interfacing before you install those. So I'm just making a small snip to mark my center front so I can center those grommets, and then I'm going to use this kit to install them. Now I'm just going to take a washable marker and mark where I want to install those grommets. I'm just going to lay them out, and then you will also want to make sure and leave enough seam allowance below where you're installing them to be able to sew on your waistband without hitting your grommets. So because these are slightly larger grommets, I am going to cut the little hole for the grommet to fit through, and I'm going to do that on both of those markings where I want to put my grommets on. And then we'll go ahead and feed our grommets through. And I'm going to just use the setter that is included in this kit. I will go ahead and link this kit in the description box below. And this one comes with a little setter tool, which I got because I don't actually have this size of grommet for my cam snap press. So I'm going to put both of those grommets on there and then use the setter to place on top there, and then just grab a hammer and you hammer that down to install this. Now whatever grommet kit you get is going to come with instructions, so just make sure and follow the instructions based on the kit that you're using. So we're going to repeat that process for our other grommet, and then our waistband is ready to be sewn onto our pants. Now we are going to go ahead and pin this onto our pants. Make sure that your grommets are right sides together with your center front of your pants. Now I like to quarter this and line up my side seams and my front and back. And you'll just notice that we are not stretching our waistband because we did make a 1-to-1 ratio waistband. We're going to sew your waistband all the way around, leaving a 2-inch gap in the back to thread our elastic through. So now for our elastic length, what I did is I measured my son's hips right where those pants are going to sit, and I am cutting the elastic 1 inch smaller than his hips. Now this definitely depends on your stretch of your elastic and that kind of thing, but you can always adjust this later if you want to. I'm just using a bodkin to go ahead and thread my elastic through. And just make sure as you do this that none of that elastic gets twisted. I like to put a clip on the end of my elastic as well to make sure that it doesn't get swallowed up inside the waistband. Now I'm going to pull that through and match up those ends. I'm going to kind of distribute that fabric a little bit and make sure that it's not twisted, and then overlap the elastic by about 1/2 inch and sew that on my sewing machine. Again, you can at this point try this on your model and make sure that that is a good fit. Next, I am just going to distribute the elastic, pull it in there, and grab that little spot where we left a gap, close that up on my sewing machine. You want to make sure to pull the fabric so that you are not sewing on top of the elastic at this part. Now before we move on, you really want to tug your waistband and make sure that fabric is evenly distributed all the way around. So I'm going to take 4 pins at my side seams, my center front and center back, and pin that so that my fabric stays in place. It's easy for the fabric to shift during this next part, so I like to have those quarter points marked so I know that everything is staying pretty even. And we'll just peek at our waistband at this point, and what I'm going to do is sew about 1/4 inch from the top and 1/4 inch from the bottom. That way I have plenty of room around the top and bottom of my grommets, and I don't run the risk of hitting them or having to make my lines not straight to go around them. So we're going to use a straight stitch to sew this, and that is because we are pulling the elastic so that when it releases, it will still have stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and put that under my foot. I'm moving my stitch length to 4, and then I move my needle all the way over to the right side, so I've got a 1/4 inch from the top and the bottom. Now you're going to want to pull on the front and the back of the waistband at the same time as you sew it. It's super important that you pull on the front and the back evenly so that you're not fighting your machine. We don't want to break our machines while we're doing this. You can just gently feel the machine move the fabric through as you are pulling the front and the back. This makes a lot more sense when you're doing it if you haven't done it before, but it's very important not to pull against your machine. You'll feel if it's fighting you. As you pull, you can see that my waistband fabric is going flat and my elastic is quite taut on the inside. You do want the waistband fabric to be flat so that you don't have tilts in your gathers. If you pull it all the way flat, you have a better chance of all of those gathers being nice and vertical, straight up and down. Now I am going to just go over the last bit of my few stitches, and I'm gonna tack that, and now you can see we've got that top line done. We're going to do the same exact process for the bottom of the waistband, and then we'll go ahead and thread our drawstring through. Another quick tip for you is if when you get to those grommets or those side seams, if they are kind of bulky, I did find it really useful here to use a hump jumper, which actually goes back behind the back of your foot to keep it level so that you can sew over the bulkier parts without your foot getting at an angle and jamming in your machine. Those hump jumpers are super, super helpful in situations like this when you are going over kind of chunkier bits of fabric. Once that's all done, you can add your drawstring. I have this plastic tool that actually threads all the way through the waistband and fits through the grommets, so I really like using that because then I can do my drawstring at the very end and not have to risk sewing over it. So all you do is just put it through that little eyelet and pull it back through. And then I just left a few inches on either side of my drawstring, and I'm tying knots in the end so that drawstring doesn't unravel. And then last but not least, we are going to hem our pants. Now I did go ahead and throw these on my little boy to see how much I needed to hem them. You roll up the cuff twice, and then you're just going to sew a straight stitch up either side. I just sew on the side of the serger stitches. And I roll these twice because I like to have that raw edge at the very, very bottom enclosed. And I'm sorry I didn't show that. My camera battery actually died, but that part's super simple. Just sew those straight stitches and you're done. Alright friends, thank you so much for joining me today for this fun hack. I really, really love how these joggers came out. It's just a fun way to kind of elevate your pattern and add some of those designer touches that you see in a lot of ready-to-wear garments to your own sews. So those were some really fun and simple hacks. Hope you guys love them. Make sure and leave a comment below of what you are going to make and or hack next. And if you have any other hack ideas that you want to see me do a video on, because I love hacking our patterns. I think it's so much fun. So make sure you throw some comments down below, and we will see you in the next video.